Some of us actually would rather die than feel our feelings. That's how devastating it is to us to feel things that we don't want to feel. So that's one thing that all of us addicts have in common, is we know exactly what it's like to suffer from the disease of addiction, and we know how to help each other get out and get better. The family workshops, I think, are the best part of Recovery in Motion. Our family program is absolutely wonderful. And what sets Recovery in Motion apart from lots of other treatment centers is that typically family is not really involved. It's not unlikely for someone to go into a treatment center and the family to be called on the day of admission and the day of discharge. We think that's unacceptable. So family members get a weekly phone call to hear of the progression of their loved one in treatment. Aside from that, they're invited to family workshops every Saturday morning. If they can't make it in person, they can participate via online. I get them patched in over the computer, through a smartphone, a tablet, whatever they can use. These sessions are 4 hours long. The first hour is dedicated to families. It's almost like a therapy session for the families. It's more geared towards the family than it is the addict. We want to know, what have you been dealing with? What has your relationship been like with your loved one? What is your relationship like now? What fears do you have? What questions do you have about treatment? We're here to help you understand and help you along the way and help you understand recovery. Misconception is, if Johnny just goes to treatment and gets better, everything's going to be okay. And it doesn't work like that, because everybody else is so severely impacted from what they've lived through with that person's addiction. They need their own recovery and they need their own help. On top of that, we teach families and parents how to set healthy boundaries, how to take care of themselves, coping skills. This way, they can better help the addict to learn how to stand on their own. The addict learns to stand on their own, the family stands on their own, and then they can stand together. So we want families to come to every workshop, as many as they can, but each client gets their own. My job at Recovery in Motion is to review the list work with the families. The facilitating therapist reviews the list work with the client who has their family day with their family. It is stating negative behaviors and how you feel about those behaviors. The second part is setting boundaries. The third part is forgiveness. And the fourth part is stating what you like and loved about your loved one. And they do this exact same work for you. An addict comes in, they're filled with shame, with guilt. You know, the family members are angry with the addict over the things that the addict has done, what they've been put through, what they've had to deal with. This gives a chance to talk about the past in an open way, without shaming, without blaming, to simply state what happened and your feelings around it. The forgiveness piece is also huge. You're asking forgiveness for things that you've done in the past. It's almost like trying to wipe the slate clean and learn how to communicate in a new way to help you communicate going forward. And by no means is this a fix-all, but it is the foundation to help you if you want to continue on this path. We give you the tools that if you want to continue healing on this path, you will have them. I've seen a client come in with things that have hurt them since they were a small child that their parents have done. And I have seen a father, I've seen a mother ask their child for forgiveness for something they've done when it happened when they were 4 years old. And I've watched that person break down crying. You know, they've been wanting to hear that since they were a little kid. From the addict side, taking accountability for what they've done, wanting to make it right, wanting to change their behavior going forward, you can see at that point that they must be in a pretty good place. Every single clinical member at Recovery in Motion has a loved one in addiction that has been with a loved one in addiction, lost a loved one to addiction, and is a recovering addict themselves. We check up on the clients once they leave our facility. We check up on them to see how they're doing. We have an alumni program every 2 weeks where we do become like a family. Once you're with us and you go through our program, you're always with us. And if you relapse, if you need help, you can call us up. You know, we'll be there to help you in any capacity that we can. And I know people probably already know this, but if you complete a 90-day program, you know, you get a free 30 days of treatment. We want to know that you're okay. We want to know how you're doing. You know, it doesn't just end when you leave our program.